Hello, welcome back to my channel. I had so much fun building the Yachtmaster a couple of weeks back that I thought I'd do it all again and try something different. Obviously the mistakes I learned last time, I thought let's put into practice and let's not make the same mistakes this time around. So I went ahead and ordered these parts. It's going to be a Daytona homage. The case costs £20, claims to be sapphire glass, 40mm case, rubber strap and a steel buckle. The hand movement that I'm opening up here is a VK63 movement, so quartz automatic movement, nice and cheap. This one only costs I think £7, so very good value. And then we have the hands for the watch. The hands costs £2.13. And then finally the dial itself, it's S logo. Basically, if you type into Aliexpress S logo, what you do end up with a Seiko logo on the dial, which is what I was looking for. So S logo, 29.5 millimeter panda style dial. That one costs £13. So first of all, you put the battery in. Most important, put the battery in so that the movement does work. And then you do need to, it doesn't come with a crown, so with the stem, so you will need to unscrew the crown from the watch itself, the case that you bought, and then put it on the stem, then put it in that 3 o'clock position. And then what you need to do is you do need to wind it, make sure that it is ticking over at the right date. And that everything looks good. But to be honest, for this particular watch, we don't have a date function, so it's probably a step we could have done without, to be honest. But it's just good habit for myself that I like making it turn over like it did there. Push it back in, and then obviously we are attaching the case, the dial onto it. So double check, make sure the pins go in the right place. And then it's a matter of just applying some pressure to put the dial on. Beautiful black, silver Seiko looking dial. And there you go, it just clips into the holes within the VK63 movement. That's it, looks pretty good. Now here comes the hardest part, as always, putting the hands on the watch dial. This is where I struggled mightily in my last attempt. This time around, unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to the camera, but I did put the hour marker on pretty comfortably, pretty easily. This particular movement holder is not actually for VK63, it's for an NH35. So it does move a little bit, so it's not perfectly on the presser. But I did it for the hour marker. It works okay for the hour marker. And there you go, the hour marker is spinning quite well around the dial. So going back, if I was to do another NH35 movement, then I will use this presser. I think it'll work quite well, but unfortunately this is the wrong movements. VK63 does not fit into that NH35 movement holder you see there. Then goes the minute hand, and this I always find is the hardest part. The hour hand is easy to put on because I think that the circle, the hole is bigger. The minute hand, it gets smaller. You've got to be more precise. And I found that obviously being right-handed, pressing down with the right hand is the better option, and using the left hand for that blue tack like substance to hold the dial in place, and then using your right hand, your stronger hand, where you have better control, to push down on the dial. But be gentle, don't force it, because you will break it. You know, again, it did take me a little while, but certainly a lot easier this time around than it was the last time around. Last time around it took around over an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I bent it and things like that. And this time around, using the presser, it took maybe half an hour, less than that. So it was far easier to do this time around. I think third time around I'll be even better, because I think I know how to do this well now. Use your strong arm, whether you use the presser or use your hand to do it. And that's it. Push it in, make sure it goes past the hour marker, nothing in the way. Looking good so far. And that's it. It sort of ticks over that 1204, but I'm not going to complain. I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. There is no date function here anyway, so it doesn't really matter, really. I'm not quite... Obviously, there's 3 subdials here. The bottom subdial at the 6 o'clock position is your second subdial. And that there, basically, what I'm trying to do here is just to press the chronograph functions. Start the stopwatch. So pushing it to start the stopwatch, you hear a click, and then push again to stop the clock watch, and then to reset that stopwatch. That obviously means that we should be at the 12 o'clock position when we put that seconds marker in. So double check again, push it in, make sure you get that click, then you know that second marker should be at that 12 o'clock position. Obviously, this is important. You want to make sure that your stopwatch is starting at the 12 o'clock position. Okay, it is there. Double checked, triple checked. So now we go and put the seconds hand on, or the stopwatch hand. Again, I use my glasses. All the tools I've used to make this watch, I'm going to put in the description below, so that it is vitally important. I used an 8 times magnifying glasses here, where I zoomed in close, so I knew how to pinpoint that seconds hand onto the dial. Again, it wasn't too bad. Just apply a little pressure here and there, a little pressure at a time until it clicks into place and it's solid. The only problem I did do here is that you can see my seconds marker is just slightly right of that 12-hour center marker. That was one thing that I got a bit annoyed with. Otherwise it's on perfectly, and it's perfectly aligned. No bend, nothing like that. The only problem I had, as you see, it's slightly off center. But otherwise, you know, the stopwatch works perfectly fine. And it clears the minute, making sure it clears the hour and minute hands. And there goes the reset jump back. If you like what you see and you want to see more content like this, please do smash the like and subscribe button. Do leave comments below. Do tell me what sort of build you want to see next. And I might give it a try. You know, I like building these watches, so it's good fun. But here you see me trying to correct that stopwatch, and it was this I don't think was the right way to do it. I think the best way to do it is simply just to take it off the watch and put it back in again. But in the end, I did get it right. I think that is what I did. I did take it out fully and put it back on. Now we go to subdials. Again, a case of just pressing it in. The subdials wasn't too difficult. Again, I got my 8x magnifying glass on with the light as well. Just make sure you position it to the 12 o'clock position in each case. So again, using my stronger hand, my right hand to push down onto the dial, making sure it's clicking into place. Don't apply too much pressure again. Just do it slowly, do it gently, making sure that it is in place. And there you go, first one on perfectly. Then we go to the 9 o'clock subdial. I do have this watch obviously the other way around because I'm using my right hand to put it on. Actually, no, that's fine. And now we're doing the 9 o'clock subdial. My phone having a hard time focusing, and I wasn't paying much attention to it, to be honest, as I was busy trying to put this on. So sorry for the blurriness of the picture. I will be upgrading this my phone and camera in the coming month. I am off to China, and most likely I'm going to pick up the new Vivo 200 Ultra that's just been released in China. That's supposed to have the best camera system available on the market so far, on the Android market. So looking forward to getting that phone. Unfortunately, it is a China exclusive only, so it wouldn't work in the UK. Well, it's not for sale in the UK. It will work in the UK, just not for sale here. It is also, I believe, Android Auto compliant these days. All the Vivo phones are Android Auto compliant. So, and in the past they haven't been. So I literally bought my wife a Vivo 200 Pro from China 3 months ago, and came back and it works fine on the Android Auto cars that we have. So yeah, so that's the plan, to upgrade the phone to give you better videos going forwards. But yeah, the 6 o'clock subdial is on as well. That's the second subdial, seconds hand. As you can see, everything seems to be clearing. Just making sure that all the hands are clearing all the subdials. There's no obstructions anywhere. And it's all working fine. And all looking good, and everything looks pretty well centered as well on the subdials. So very happy with that. I think this total build time probably took around an hour and a half. I think most of the time, a lot of the time was spent faffing about on that that stopwatch hand, trying to get it centered. You can see the 6 o'clock subdial, the seconds working perfectly, ticking along as well. That's looking good. So yeah, looking really good. Now there's a little button, there's a little hole there on the bottom there, where if you push it, it will release the stem. So now what we're trying to do is get the stem out and also get the case open, because we're going to start attempting to put the dial into the case. So using our blue ball here, we open the case back, take out that black rubber ring, which is the water sealant. So put that in the gasket, the grease gasket, to lubricate it. We'll come back to that later on. Okay, give it a good wipe. Get every single bit of dust out as much as you can. Use the blower as well. Blow out any air. I mean any dust. I think we're good to go. So clean the dial, make sure it's dust free. And then with the VK63 movement, it is a bit more difficult getting it into the case, what I have noticed compared to the NH35. Maybe because of the stopwatch function, etc. The two chronograph buttons. You do have to get it precisely right. So best thing to do is just line it up to the 3 o'clock position of the date window, and where you slide the stem in. And that's the best way to do it, I think. And next thing you do is to cut the stem. So first of all, put it in, see how much you think you need to cut off. So it looks like you need to do quite a bit. So what I have done is do it slowly. Again, push that button down below there to release the stem. Do it slowly in stages. There's no rush in this, You don't want to cut the stem too short, otherwise you've got a busted stem, you need a new stem. So do it in stages, do it bit by bit. So the first time I did it, I took that much off yet. Attach it back, give it another go, and see where you are. See if it closes. Again, still a little short. So you've got a little bit more to do. So just a little bit. So one more go. Should do it. Now we put the glue on. So make sure that obviously if you don't put the glue on, then if the crown does come off, then you're stuck. So best to put a little bit of glue on, so you're securing the crown onto the stem. Make sure you do wipe off any excess glue. Again, if you do like what you see, please do leave comments below. Do hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think of this watch build. As mentioned, wipe away the excess glue. Important to do that. Now you can put the stem back in, and hopefully now it should fit perfectly. Put your ring back. That should give it the waterproof seal that it needs. Make sure that it's fitting in perfectly. And finally, attach the case back on. So turn it with your hands a little bit, use the ball as well. I do have a clamp as well, but I got a bit lazy. I didn't want to bring the clamp out. You can clamp the edges, you see where those holes or indents are, if you want to do that, but I just used the ball instead. And here it is, the finished product. Chronograph function, you do unwind it, similar to Rolex. And there it ticks away beautifully. Make sure you do screw it back on, screw it back in once you're done with it. What do you think, guys? Said £35 from Aliexpress, the total cost of this watch. It's supposed to be sapphire glass, and yeah, pretty much so, I guess. You know, it does increase, as you can see from that diamond selector. Watch case, 41mm. Lug to lug of 47.5mm. And a case thickness of 12mm. Total weight of the watch, 94 grams. And last thing I do need to do is just to make some adjustments to the wrist, to the band, the leather band. So I cut off a couple of rubber links, and now it's on perfectly. Yeah, let me know what you think, guys. £35 watch, quartz watch. Very sharp looking Seiko dial, and yeah, can't complain. Yeah, a lot of satisfaction when you do build your own watch and you see it in real person. Ultimately, you are buying the parts yourself, so this individual watch you are building for yourself. Next one I'm thinking of doing is possibly a Cartier Santos type watch. So that might be my next watch build, but we'll probably wait another month or so because I am away on a couple of weeks business trip, so I'm going to be pretty busy and tied up for the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. So after that I might try another build. So yeah, hope you like this video, hope you like what you see, hope it inspires you to build your own watch as well. Let me know what you think, leave comments below, like and subscribe. We will see you in the next video. Thanks for staying to the end.